of the things that I was happily surprised about the film is that it's totally non-formulated. You never know what's going to happen next.
Oh, that's good.
Was that something that you felt it was going to happen when you read the script, and if it was a...
Well, it was something that there was only a first act, you know, and I read it and I thought, that's kind of interesting. This is a very bad man, you know, he's stealing people's credit cards and all this sort of stuff, and what's he up to? And you find out gradually, like, what he's about. But, you know, Brian and I sat down and we kind of collaborated on the next two acts and made them, we just cut the cloth to our own sort of wants, you know, we tailored it. So, you know, it was interesting to sort of try and go against, you know, conceptions, you know, preconceived ideas, and make the guy unpredictable. And, you know, the main villain who usually, you know, you end up in a sword fight to the death at the end, you know, usually with the villain. The guy, you know, bites the dust about halfway through and you can't believe it. You think, well, what happens now?
But at the same time... Sure.
Oh. Oh, I did?
Yeah, it's okay. It sounded okay.
It sounded all right?
Yeah, like it flips over again. That what we want.
It's a very nice shirt, don't you think?
Yeah, it's a great shirt.
Okay, so it's number 2 now? Cool. But at the same time, it's a very likable villain. I mean, his dark side comes with so much passion that...
Yeah. Well, he... I don't know what that is. I think early on we're allowed to feel sympathy for the guy a little bit, you know. First time you see him, he's having bullets dug out of his back, so some pretty nasty stuff has gone down. And then he does such heinous things, you can only laugh at them. I mean, you know, stealing money out of a crippled veteran's hat who's begging on the street is like... And then when the guy stands up to poke him in the throat and to say, I cured you, is like, it's pretty nasty. I mean, that made me laugh, I guess, and other people too. So I guess there's a... Right away you realize that you shouldn't really be trying to take the story too seriously.
In a way, there's like a great tribute to film noirs, I think.
Oh, yeah.
The way it was shot and the way your character develops with interacts with others. Was that something that you did consciously? And
oh, absolutely. Yeah. The DP used a bleach bypass process to make the film more contrasty and darker looking, you know, mutes the colors, and it's almost black and white, but it's not. It's definitely in color, but it's very dark, and you know, the blacks are blacker.
What was great for me as well, maybe, as part of the audience, was like he lives in an imaginary world, right, run by the outfit, and
yes.
the city is not descriptible. Can you tell us a little about why? And I mean, the mood is perfect like that, because
sure.
You don't know where he is, and you...
No, you don't know where he is. It is a very bad city. It's just a gritty urban place full of very bad people, and even the good people are very bad. And it's just, that's the world you create. And because we're not specific about exactly where he is, or when he is even, it's kind of got retrofit to, you know, almost 3 decades back. It could be the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. You know, it's you know, there's automobiles in it from the 80s, and yet the music should give you Starsky and Hutch flashbacks. You know, it's like it's just I don't know. It's a strange world, and that's kind of the charm of it. I think once you accept the convention of where you're at, well then, you know, laugh it up really, because you know, it's no place you've ever been or want to go.
Is Icon Productions?
Yes.
Are you going to be doing more films like this, depending on what happens, or?
Sure, we do all sorts of films. We've done, excuse me, like 4 films in Europe this year, mostly out of England and Ireland, you know, all sorts of different things. I like the variety of doing a lot of different things.
The fact that you have your own production company,
yeah.
Why is that? Is it because Hollywood doesn't offer everybody what they want, or just need to develop your own stuff? Or?
Well, you know, there's just more than one way to skin a cat. I think it's not that there's you know, a lack of opportunities here. There's all sorts of production companies here like ours, of people who are into some pretty, you know, pretty interesting things. Very talented people. It's a huge creative, you know, huge talent pool here. So it's not, there's no, you know, we're not starving for stuff so that we have to do it ourselves. It's just that we're greedy and we want to, you know, be responsible from the beginning to the end of the whole process, you know, with the conception of a story maybe, and, you know, producing it and directing it and finishing it off and marketing, you know, and just be responsible for it because, you know, when I'm in love with the film process and I like that, and I think having a production company is a way to explore some of your wants.